Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Harry Knuckles podcast with me, your host, Chad, and my co-host, um, Hunter. There you go. Yeah.
There you
I think you
go.
said hey.
That didn't take you 5 seconds. Hey,
All right, we're already off to a cracking
you
start.
are horrible. You did a horrible job for this intro. Just so you
Nah,
know.
nah, man. That's the mystique, man. You gotta have a sort of earthy tone to it. You know, it sounds natural. This
Sure.
is real. This is real life right here on the podcast, man.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
But anyway, yeah, we're going to be talking about all things week 4, and we're going to be doing our picks for week 5. And there's a couple of interesting questions that I got for him that I want to get his opinion on. So
Oh Lord.
it's going to be a fun show, Hunter. A fun
Okay.
show. All right.
Okay.
So week 4 was very exciting for me because I got to watch every game that I wanted to, for the most part. The first of which was the Thursday night game when the New York Giants took on the Washington Redskins. Now, just so everyone knows, if you didn't watch last week's episode, Mr. Firestone picked the Washington Redskins to win that game. They did not win that
Yeah.
game. I had the Giants beating them. So let's just talk about that game first and foremost, man. What you got on it?
I'm just gonna say your tweets were amazing during that game.
Yeah, man. That's one thing I love about live tweeting now that we're doing this. I get to.
He did, I think, 5 tweets during the game, and they were Manning interception, Cousins interception,
Yeah.
Cousins interception, Cousins interception.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like you're rubbing it in my face completely.
Yes, there was actually
I was
one point.
wrong.
There was one point in the game when I actually tweeted, "There's no way he's gonna throw another one," because he threw like 3 in one
And
quarter, I think.
his passes were horrible.
But yeah, man, we gotta talk
Horrible.
about Kirk Cousins as an idea for Redskins fans because it's been every single time RG3 gets hurt and Kirk Cousins comes in, he always looks good that first initial game. And then everyone's like, yeah, man, we should have got RG3 out of here even sooner, man. Maybe this ankle injury, heaven forbid that, he get injured, but maybe that's a good thing for Washington. You never
For a
know.
lot. Yeah.
But this is the kind of thing, like, people's opinions of players is always week to week based. Do you think that Kirk Cousins fans, or sorry, Washington Redskins fans
Yeah, how many
should,
Kirk Cousins fans are out there exactly?
do you think that Redskins fans should still have hope in this guy?
Yeah, because, I mean, last year, he came in, everyone forgets this. Not last year, 2 years ago, RG3 gets hurt in the 4th quarter against the Ravens. And Kirk Cousins comes in cold and throws him a win.
Hmm.
And I think I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl. I'm not saying he's even close to that. I'm just saying he had a bad game versus the Giants. He threw some horrendous passes that I'm not gonna say I could have thrown better, but they were
Yeah.
they were horrible. And he apparently thought that blue and white was apparently red
It's
and
been known
whatever.
to happen, man. It's been known to
It's
happen.
4 interceptions, 1 touchdown. That was
Honestly, man, I don't know what's more impressive to me. I don't know if Eli Manning being on a turnaround and like that Giants offense looking so good, even though they're playing against the Redskins,
they were playing against the Redskins. Let's not forget that.
or like is it more of a case of the Redskins are that bad? Like, are they that bad? That bad?
I mean, you never know. The Bucks beat the Steelers. I mean, anything can happen.
This is true. I think that the Redskins stink personally. I'm ready to put
Yeah,
my stamp of approval on saying that. I'm ready to say it.
yeah,
They stink. All right.
they do. They do. Stamp it. Put a
Yeah, and
stamp on it.
like, don't get me wrong. Even though I don't like the Redskins, I don't feel like this is a telltale sign that they're going to play like this every week. But think about it. They play
Yeah,
Seattle next week. Then they play. They play Seattle this week. Then they play Arizona the week after that. Like, they're not going to make it out of the first half of the season alive, and that's why I feel like it's
yeah.
just it's not their
Especially
time, man.
especially if Kirk Cousins is throwing the way he threw last week, or yeah, last week.
Yeah, like
Is if he plays like he did last week, it'll be 8 interceptions, 0 touchdowns against the Seahawks.
yeah, man. I just here's my advice to Kirk Cousins if he somehow watches this. All you got to
If
do,
he somehow watches this.
all you got to do is, do none of what you did Thursday, and you will have success, my friend. You will have
Do what you did
success.
against the Eagles. Do what you did against the Eagles. Throw it to Deshaun Jackson more. He needs more than one reception in a game.
That is
Dang.
true. That is true. But that's
They
a
what do you have?
different side of football.
Four targets, 3 targets,
I
something
think
ridiculous.
Pierre Garcon wasn't even involved in the rotation that much, man. Like, ball distribution was just horrendous. That game was a wreck for Washington.
Alfred Morris had a good game,
Yeah,
but
but
that's about it. That's the only upside to what happened.
yeah,
And he's really the only upside they have right
and
now.
unfortunately,
Alfred
running
Morris.
the ball itself will not win you a game when you're down 2 or 3 or 4 scores. So
Yeah.
it just didn't come together for them. All right, so that was the Thursday night game.
Hey, hands off to the Giants though.
Yeah, man.
Eli Manning, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and ran one in.
Yeah, I was
What was
thoroughly
that
impressed,
about?
man. I was thoroughly impressed.
I didn't know he knew how to run. That was insane.
Yeah, man. He's the fastest quarterback in the league, personally, man.
He is, yeah.
Okay, so Sunday, the entire day was chock full of games. Obviously, we're just two guys, so we didn't watch all of them. But
I was sad, and I was only able to watch the Bears Packers game.
yeah, man, you missed
That's
out.
all I was. All of Sunday, that's all I got to watch.
Well, tell the people what you thought of that game, man. Since you brought it up.
Okay, so the Bears, their secondary, that game against the Jets where they lost about half their secondary, you can tell it messed them up because it took Aaron Rodgers about 2.5 minutes to score on the first drive.
Mm.
And Zach Stacy didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to run at all because Aaron Rodgers just do it. I mean, his
Wait,
stats.
Eddie Lacy?
Yes, Eddie Lacy. Well, he didn't have to run at all.
Right.
Look at Aaron Rodgers' stats: 22 for 28 in the air, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks.
RELAX. Relax. Relax, man. I love that, by the way. I mean, I love Aaron Rodgers. I couldn't watch it. I was busy watching the Panthers game, but from what I hear, this offense is back in the chip chop,
Yeah.
chip chop shape. There you go.
They were going against not bad defense, a bad secondary.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was just deep pass, cut to the. It just I lost my thought for a second. My bad.
But Aaron
I
Rodgers
lost
is
what
the
I was
X factor
saying.
for that team. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who he has around him. He got Randall Cobb the ball for 2 touchdowns, and so did he. I think Jordy Nelson had 2 touchdowns as well. So, there was that one play that I still haven't seen where supposedly he threw something off the back foot and it was called back. I didn't see it, but apparently that was amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm a Ravens
Talk
fan,
about
y'all.
your Ravens.
Yeah,
game.
man. Yeah,
Let's
man.
Talk about your Ravens game.
I'm a Ravens fan, man. And
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith Sr.
Steve Smith.
I
Blood and guts everywhere.
Look, man. I'm not the kind of person to condone that sort of attitude because I don't have that same angst to me. But
Yeah.
bruh, this guy went went off, absolutely
On his old team.
off on his old team, and honestly, I have converted myself to a fan, and I'll be honest, I was a naysayer of Steve Smith during the actual acquiring process that that the Ravens had in the offseason. I was like, he's been playing for 14 years. No,
That's
11
exactly
years.
what I was saying too.
He's been playing for over 10 years, and I don't think he has that same burst to him, But according to him,
He looked like he had over 4 more years left in him after that.
yeah,
game.
he still looks really good. He's such a competitor, and I just appreciate so much the fact that he still has interest in this game after so long, and the fact that he's come to a new team and he feels like the rookie again. He's learning a new offense. He's got new teammates.
He was with the Panthers his whole career.
Right.
So, and then the emotions probably were getting to him a little bit in the locker room, but he did not show it on the field at all. I mean, he just went out and straight balled.
And Joe Flacco looked good. I'm just impressed with our Ravens as a whole, man. I like we ran the ball against the Panthers. Granted, the Panthers defense, we'll get to that later, but we ran the ball well. We like Joe Flacco looked good under pressure. He looked good with time in the pocket. He made
Yeah,
throws that he was supposed to make, and like the
he was
whole
Joe.
offense looked great.
He was the Joe Flacco that he is in the playoffs
Yeah,
against the
you
Panthers.
saw we saw a little glimpse of that it factor for him, man.
Yeah,
And like we played a complete football game, just dominating on both sides of the ball, and I think it's a great win for us. And moving forward, who do we play week 5?
you
Um,
play the Colts
yeah, the Colts. They always
in
seem to give
Indy
us trouble.
at Lucas Oil.
That's going to be more of a defensive battle for us. We're going to have to make some key stops, but that's another thing for another time. Let's see what other games were there. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh man, this Eagles 49ers game.
Go off on them. Go off on them.
Okay. Now, I didn't voice my opinion on this last week, but the Eagles, in my opinion, right, were the only team of the undefeated teams that didn't make sense to me, right?
Yes.
They don't
Yeah.
seem like a 3-0 team the way that they're winning games right now. But after losing to the 49ers, obviously the biggest thing you can take away from this is that the Eagles had 9 possessions in which they did not advance the ball past midfield.
Yeah.
9, okay? The score
And
was
that's not gonna work.
yeah, the score was 21 to 26. All 21 points were scored
Defense and special
by special
teams.
teams and
Yeah.
defense, okay?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, right? From a 49ers perspective, that's really 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 good. Like fantastic. Your
Good
defense.
job, 49ers defense. Good
Yes, the
job.
49ers defense, despite so many personnel issues with absences and everything, looked fantastic. And the
Yeah.
49ers just basically rode the back of that defense the entire game. Uh, moving forward, right? Moving forward, will the Eagles ever be able to run the ball, period, with LaShawn McCoy? Do you think so?
I feel like it's gonna take a while, but I think they will eventually.
Do you think it's a matter
It's
of teams just like over preparing for him specifically, like just stacking the box and daring Nick
well, I
Foles to
feel like
throw?
because if teams were doing that, then Darren Sproles would be going off right now.
Yeah, but neither of them
Both
have
of
been.
That's what I'm saying. Both
Yeah.
of them are being average, not even average, below average. So it's sooner or later he's gonna get it. It's LaShawn McCoy. You can't you can't go off on him that much.
Mhm.
I mean, we're still 4 weeks into the season, going into week 5. It's a long season, 16 games. Sooner or later they'll get it, but they got to fix their offensive line.
Yeah, the that's the thing. I think they have one of their guys coming back soon. Like you can always coach up an offensive line. You know, I don't think this is going to be the same all week, but it's just weird that the first 4 weeks of the NFL, LaShawn McCoy, leading rusher, has been bottled up. Dude's just saying, no,
Like 17 yards on 10 carries.
yeah. Like, and the thing is, I don't. I'm not a coach. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how you magically just start running the ball better. But I think it just comes down to they need to just run it more anyway. Just give it a try.
Yeah,
You know, just keep doing it. Because I mean, if it doesn't work 10 times in a row, you got to keep.
it's not gonna
So,
work on 11th.
but
Yeah,
not a lot of teams can run against the 49ers, right? So
yeah,
I don't like the Eagles, period. So that's why I'm so happy about the 49ers beating them. But yeah, the 49ers needed this win desperately.
yeah.
And offensively, there still is a little
First
bit
one
of
in
a
First one in Levi Stadium. I'll mention that.
yeah that is
First one for
noteworthy
them.
actually. The 49ers has been like one of the biggest concerns of a lot of people so far. I think that they're still a nasty team, man. I still feel like they can't be counted out, man.
They're still a team to be reckoned with every
Yeah,
single week.
yeah. Especially when they get some of their when they get all their personnel back the way it's supposed to be, they're still going to be a scary team in the NFC, man.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna be that team that's in the championship every single year.
exactly. I think you had something to mention about the Bills QB position. That's been some rumblings about that.
Yes, well, as many people understand, the Bills benched EJ Manuel. Finally. I mean, it only took this long. And the
Finally.
starting Kyle Orton. Most people would be scared about that. I love it.
Really?
Because look,
You gotta
now
explain that one, sir.
you have guys like Sammy Watkins, number what 4 or 5 overall in the draft. I can't remember which number it was. He deserves better than EJ Manuel. I mean, this dude is a stud player, and now he's gonna get a guy that can throw it straight to him.
Okay.
The ball's not gonna be up in the air behind him or in front of him. It's gonna be on point. Kyle Orton is a veteran in this league, and he's the perfect guy for the wide receiver core that the Bills have, a younger wide receiver core.
So you like the move then?
They should have done this a long time ago.
Interesting. Okay. So my second follow-up question to that, given what you've said, right? The Jets find themselves in a situation almost identical to that of EJ Manuel, right? Do they take the
Yeah.
same course? Because I brought that up last week, and do you think that's
They won't. I don't think they will.
well?
Unless it gets like bad.
I know that they're.
Do you mean now or do you mean later?
I mean, the Bills did it after 4 games, right? The Bills did it after 4 games, and the Jets, I know, are refusing to do it because they feel like I guess they're going from the mentality of it's the future of the franchise, right? It's like going.
Yeah.
We'll make him better by making him more on the job as opposed to sitting him in the short term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's such a good idea because Geno Smith looks bad, man. Like.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because I've seen tweets about it. Like I've watched this young man, and it's not good.
Capital B A.
It's not
All
looking good, man.
caps.
But the Dolphins and Raiders, I'm not gonna bother mentioning that. The Raiders are a train wreck, right? And
Finally fired their coach, who neither of us can remember his name. Apparently, that's how bad I didn't care about the Raiders that much. I don't even remember their head coach's name.
do you think that the
That
Raiders are
is.
like a lost cause, and it's gonna take an insane upheaval?
Nah, 'cause, I mean, I like some of their signings in the offseason. Justin Tuck. That's about all I remember. So,
Okay.
I like they have a lot of my they have a lot of veteran guys on their team. And when you have a lot of older guys, you're not gonna win a whole lot of games. I mean, you have Derek Carr at quarterback, who I really like.
hmm
They've been drafting really well. It's just they're more towards the future than they are the present right now.
Yeah, it's like I think I heard that like since 1997, the best record that they've had under a coach, I think was under Gruden, and it was like 8-8. And
Yeah, that's bad.
I
That's as long as I've been alive. Their best record is at 500.
I don't know if I can even subscribe to the idea that they'll be a threat anytime. No, I'm not even gonna.
I'm not saying
I'm not gonna say
anytime soon. I'm
soon either.
saying
I'm just gonna
in the
say
future.
ever. I think that it's
In the
gonna
future.
take a coach that has like an insane level of profile and confidence to deal with being on.
And it's going to take a lot of top 5 picks overall.
Yeah, like because the NFL is just chock full of like bad teams with great talent. You know what I mean? They just
Yeah.
lack the winning formula or whatever. But speaking of bad teams though, the Buccaneers, man, the Buccaneers. The
Ooh.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Steelers 27 to
How
24.
about that? How about that?
I love it, man. I love it.
None of us were watching the game at
I
all.
wasn't watching it.
We all just saw that replay at the end of the game.
Yeah, the Panthers game was over, I think, and then they just cut to the red zone of Buccaneers Steelers, and I just saw the game-winning catch by Vincent Jackson.
Yeah.
And my dad's a
That's a
Steelers
moment
fan, so that was awesome to watch.
that's a moment where for us, we both hate the Steelers. But for someone who doesn't even care, that's just a moment where you celebrate because a horrible team just won.
In every sport, upsets are amazing. In literally every sport.
Like, I don't want to bring back bad memories for you, but remember a couple years ago when the Dolphins were almost about to go 0-16 and the overtime kickoff return for a touchdown and they won and beat you guys. You remember that?
What year was that?
2008,
I probably
I
was
think.
asleep.
2009?
I was asleep, man.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, 2009, I was asleep. Definitely.
They're about to go 0-16 and they beat you guys.
That's fine.
That's one of the greatest moments of my life. right there, watching that game.
I think
That
it,
was
like if
incredible.
you're Pittsburgh, right? If you're a Pittsburgh and you took that L at home, can you?
Did you see Antonio Brown's comments?
Yeah, saying that we lost to like one of the worst
We
NFL
lost to
teams.
the worst team in the NFL in our own building.
Every bit of shame that they are experiencing is wholeheartedly earned. They earned every bit of that shame because the
Yeah,
Buccaneers, granted, they did play better, but Pittsburgh's defense is atrocious. So,
yeah,
which is weird because they've kind of associated themselves with having a great defense over the years. But they have a lot of personnel issues, like a lot of other defenses and stuff. But
yeah.
I hate Pittsburgh. Watching them lose to the Buccaneers was amazing. I like Mike Glennon. I like. Isn't Mike Evans hurt though?
No, I do not think so.
He's not okay.
I
Uh,
don't think so. Hope not.
I thought he had he was probable with a groin injury or whatever. But Vincent Jackson put up points for me, but that's a different podcast. All right, so
Let's not get into
Falcons.
that fantasy.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother
Falcons.
conversation.
Falcons lose to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm eating crow on this one because I definitely had the Falcons beating them. Teddy Bridgewater looked good, man. What'd you think?
Teddy, he surprised me. He really did. I did not have a lot of confidence in him, as
Really?
much as other people did. No, I had Bortles and Carr being better than him down the road, and
To be honest, they both look good.
well, now Derek Carr's hurt, MCL, whatever.
Well, I was speaking of
Bortles did
Bortles.
not play. Well, it's not Bortles' fault he played bad. He didn't even play bad. It's just the. I don't know if did you even see any replays of the game at all?
Zero.
Okay, I watched a little bit of the replays, and Bortles is more of a deep threat, and all the Jaguars did was throw screens the whole game. That's all they did.
Oh
Screen,
wow.
screen, screen, screen. And so when you play a rookie quarterback in London in a situation where he can't do what he wants, you cannot expect success.
London. Oh, we're
Yeah.
talking about
Oh, was that Dolphins Raiders? No, that
Dolphins and
was.
Raiders was in London.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah, because I saw a meme about it saying that like
No
The
way.
UK gave us One
Oh,
Direction, so we gave you
I
Dolphins and
sent you that.
Raiders. Yeah.
You're right. I sent you
So
that.
how
My
could you
bad.
not know?
Because I don't care. That's why I don't know.
Wow.
I didn't care enough. Okay. How about that? The Saints Cowboys. How about them Cowboys?
I hate to say it, but I think the Cowboys
Three
might be
and
good.
one.
I think the Cowboys
Three
might be good,
and
man.
one. And how about the Saints? 1-3. Top 10 defense last year, not even in the top 25 now.
I didn't
That
see
is
it.
just insane.
You didn't see it, and I didn't see it, right?
I did not see the game, but all I needed to do was hear everything. And that was as much information as I needed.
The Cowboys got an O line. That's all I gotta say. That's all that matters, man. They got an O line now.
But still, I mean, Drew Brees only, 17 points? Something like that? First ballot Hall of Famer scoring 17 points against the worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Uh, I don't know, man. I think the Cowboys might will their way into a playoff spot, man. I really do. I do.
In their division, that is possible.
Yeah.
In
That is
any other
yeah.
in any other division, that would not even be a conversation.
But man,
But that's how bad the NFC East is.
But I think the Cowboys, if you put them in a vacuum, right? Without the context of the division that they're in, I think based off what I've seen, they're not that bad, man. They are not that bad.
It's just their defense.
Their running
That's
attack is fantastic.
DeMarco Murray,
They got
wonderful.
a great
Stud.
offensive line. They got great targets. Pretty good quarterback.
Des Bryant.
Yeah, the defense is just gonna take a while to get ironed out. But any other notable games? Titans lost to the Colts 17-41. I think everyone saw that one coming. Andrew Luck had an amazing game.
Yep. Breaking more records that nobody cares about.
Let's see. Okay, so Monday night. MNF. Okay, I watched this one, man.
You covered that.
I
I'll
live
let you go
tweeted
off
this.
on it right
I
now.
live tweeted this.
You did.
Man.
You did.
All right. Okay. The Patriots lost 14-41 against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs were at home, and the Chiefs, as an understatement, I'll start from the beginning and we'll slowly work my way and escalate towards the Patriots suck. All right. The Chiefs played very, very well, all right? And they outplayed New England on both sides of the ball consistently. It wasn't like, the Patriots had a bad half. The Patriots have looked bad 3 weeks in a row, all right? And now it's 4 weeks. And for me, watching that game, I think that the problem, a lot of people are shifting blame. Oh, who do we blame? Do we blame Belichick? Do we blame the
And
O-line?
nobody's willing to blame Belichick or Brady at
Exactly.
all. Nobody's willing
I
to.
will blame Tom Brady and Belichick, okay, together, as just the fact that the Patriots they found a way to sort of make do with decisions that don't make sense as far as drafting goes,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
they've had the worst drafts ever. I mean,
but it's
look at
worked
their
though.
wide receivers.
It's worked
Look at your
though.
wide receivers.
Look at last year though, right? They could have been in the Super Bowl, right, with okay receivers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the
Just Tom
same.
Brady's not playing. That's
Tom
when
Brady's not
Tom
playing
Brady's
well, man.
elite. That's what's always brought on the Super Bowl is when they don't have a team.
But
Just Tom Brady.
that's the difference,
Tom
though.
Brady's. Yeah, and Tom Brady's just not being the elite quarterback we're all used to, so everyone's flipping out about that.
Yeah, but this O line is garbage. They could not run the ball. They could not pass the ball. Like Brady was the receivers were getting no separation, man. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
Brandon LaFell, I think, had the most receptions out of all of them. And it's just like Garoppolo threw as many TDs as Tom Brady did. And do you agree
Yeah.
with the decision to pull Tom Brady out at that point? Just want to ask
Yeah.
you that.
Because I loved it because I got to see. I actually ended up watching the fourth quarter.
Oh, good.
So when I walked in my room and I saw that, I was like, oh wow, okay. I was not expecting the score that I saw. But
Yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the future of the Patriots.
that is.
So you
That's
have
true,
to
yeah.
see him in action, and he played very well. I mean, even though it was a blowout, he played very, very well.
He got to experience his first NFL touchdown and his first NFL sack. So,
Yep.
that's. But look, man, I don't know. Every time you watch a game, you always got to think, what does this game tell me more about? Do you learn more about the Chiefs or do you learn more about the Patriots? And I think
I think you learned about both.
I was gonna say the same thing. I think you learned
Yeah.
a good amount about each. You learn that the Patriots, even though
They're not as good as they
even
were
though their
in past
defense
years.
on paper is going to be marvelous this year, I still believe that, right? Even though that's the case, that didn't matter.
Hey, wait.
Darrelle Revis could not contain Dwayne
Darrell
Bowe.
Revis cannot cover this year.
I don't
What
know
is
what
up
it is,
with
man.
this?
I don't know, man.
He got burnt. Dwayne Bowe is burning him.
Dwayne
What
Bowe
is that?
was having a way with him, man. And do you think that
Mike Wallace, week 1, burning him for touchdowns.
Do you think that the Chiefs?
Darrelle Revis is not best cornerback in the game. We're not gonna have this argument now.
Oh,
But we can on another date.
you just randomly decided to throw the old cornerback conversation in there, though.
Hey,
That's what you did.
next week I will talk about this. Next week.
I don't like top
Put it on
five
your calendar
conversations,
now.
man. Like I don't like power ranking conversations, best QB conversations, because it all. Anyway,
Yeah.
my question was, do you think that the Chiefs have, the same sort of personnel, offensive scheme, defense? Like their pass rush looks fantastic. The defense looks great.
They're looking as good as they did last year.
You think so?
Yeah, I do believe.
And Jamal Charles, man. Jamal Charles.
I'm one of the few people that had them still going to the playoffs this year.
Really?
As a wild, yeah. I feel like because everyone's saying a lot of people were going with Steelers Ravens, also making as the wild cards,
Right.
and that meant bumping out the Chiefs. But the Chiefs are good. Alex Smith is still not. He's above average. He's not great, but he's not bad.
He looked great against the.
He looked great against.
Looked great against the Patriots,
yes.
man. And
Yes,
that's
he
a
did.
great defense.
Yes, he
Like
did.
the pass rush
Yes.
of the Patriots, the linebackers are good. The corners are
And he's
great.
and he's and he's throwing to average wide receivers too.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, go
Dwayne
ahead.
Bowe is not average. No, you're good. Dwayne Bowe is not average. I think Dwayne Bowe is just off the field is doing horrible, so that's messing with his on the field
Hmm.
potential.
Yeah.
It's, when you have Jamal Charles, you don't really need wide receivers all that much.
And I would be doing a disservice as a member of this podcast to not mention that there is a punter in the league that is getting credit for being such an amazing punter. That would be Dustin Colquitt.
Colquitt,
Even their punter was outplaying the Patriots, man. The punter pinning
it's
them
crazy.
back within 10 yards of the end zone every single play. I just want to throw that out there because I pay attention to the league. I notice stuff like that. Okay.
Right, right.
Um. All right. So that's week 4. Do you have any final thoughts before I wrap up that book or that chapter of this podcast?
Okay. Jaguars and Buccaneers and Titans suck. That's all I've got to say.
All right. Okay. So.
I'm very.
All
That is
right.
my week 4. That's everything I learned week 4.
All right. Yeah. I'll allow it. Okay. So in week 5 is interesting because I I always immediately my eyes are drawn to two good teams playing each other. Who's gonna win, right?
Hmm.
This week, even the bad teams that are playing, I still feel like because the
Can
league
be
is so
good
crazy.
games,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So let's start off with the Vikings playing against the Packers. They're going to be playing in
Thursday
Green Bay.
Thursday night.
Yeah. Who you got in that one then?
I'm gonna say Packers just because Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, they're all gonna go off on a weak Vikings defense. But if Teddy Bridgewater does play, I want to see how I'm looking at Teddy Bridgewater if he plays. If he plays, I think they have a chance to, possibly win.
I have confirmation that he
Poss-
will be. By the way.
he will be.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just getting this?
Yeah. Just got it in. Corporate's telling me. Yeah. He's definitely playing.
At 5 o'clock on October 1st.
So you think you got the Packers anyway, even with Teddy Bridgewater
Yeah,
playing?
I'll pick the Packers. If Bridgewater playing, I think it'll be a good game. I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be one of the better Thursday night games so far.
Because they've been pretty
Because we
crap so
haven't
far.
we haven't really had any good ones yet. The
Yeah.
best we had was Ravens Steelers, and that wasn't very great at all either.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had 2 straight blowouts.
I love the Washington one though. That's been my favorite. That's been my favorite so far.
Hashtag let's have a good game on Thursday night.
I think it'll be a good game. I personally, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I'm gonna try to be, I'm gonna try to be upset free because I gotta stop being stupid because I ruined my record for last week by throwing the
What
Jaguars
you
out
have
there.
to have upsets,
Nah,
man. There's always
man,
upsets.
nah. There was only one upset last week, and that was the Buccaneers game. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you.
The Vikings game. You wouldn't say a blowout against the Falcons. That's not an upset.
But no, it's not an upset because it's only an upset if we both agree on it. That's when it becomes an upset.
Okay. Okay.
Since you said the Falcons would win or
I
would
said the Falcons
lose,
would lose.
since
I
you
said
said
the
that they
Vikings
would
would.
lose, that's
I
why
was the
it's
only
not an
person.
upset.
I was the only person within 1,000 miles of here that said the Vikings would win.
I'm very proud of you for that one.
I'm
Almost,
I'm very
almost as
happy with
proud as
that.
myself for guessing that the Giants would win. But anyway, I am taking the Packers as well. All right,
Okay.
so Lions versus Bills. Who do you got in that one?
I'm gonna pick Lions. I feel like Calvin Johnson has not. This is his breakout game against a rough. Well, not rough, but against an average Bills defense. I'll say this is his time to shine. Matthew Stafford had a wonderful game last week against the Jets, and I think he'll keep that going. But I will be watching Kyle Orton and Sammy Watkins connecting for at least 8 catches.
At least 8 catches.
At least 8 catches for over 80 yards and a touchdown.
So you
I
put a
put
lot of
that
pressure on yourself just now. Not
and
only did
what?
you say that the Lions. Wait, hold on. Who do you actually have winning the game though?
Oh, Lions. Sorry,
Okay.
I never.
So you've imposed that the Lions will win, and you've also said that Sammy Watkins will have 8 catches. All right, fair enough. I'll allow it.
I'm putting my name on it.
I think Kyle Orton is going to struggle. I think simply because Detroit's defense is marvelous. I don't know if they'll be
Their
able to
front,
really
they,
run the ball that well, but
their front seven will get 2 or 3 sacks on them at least.
yeah,
But
it's weird because I feel like this is going to be the one game where I'm like, dang, the Bills won, and like next week in Week 6 we're like, dang, really, the Bills won that game.
yeah,
I'm still gonna
yeah,
say Detroit anyway because I gotta be boring. I have to be. All right,
had to be boring.
Browns versus
Ravens fold.
Titans. This is the one you had to struggle with, man.
I did struggle, but I ended up picking the Browns.
Browns, okay.
This will be a good game. This will be like a 24-21 kind of game. 2 bad teams. That's always a good game, right? 2 mediocre teams playing against each other.
Yeah,
That's always
yeah.
good. That's always good.
Unfortunately, I'm going to agree with you on that one as well. Browns.
Oh wow, we're 4-0. Dang.
Okay.
Or 3-0.
Texans versus Cowboys.
Texans up. Cowboys.
Dang it! All right, I said Cowboys too. All right. But
Why do you have the Cowboys?
Okay, I have the Cowboys because the Texans are the worst looking. The worst looking
The
3-1
Texans
team.
are 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say.
They're the worst looking 3-1 team, man.
I wanted you to add that they're also 3-1 too. Hey man, you never know.
Oh,
J.J. Watt
bloody
returning
eyelash.
touchdowns.
Okay. Let's see. Buccaneers versus
J.J.
Saints.
Watt will return. He will return another touchdown.
And it won't matter for anyone.
He'll have his 3rd one of the year.
It won't matter for anyone, man. I told you.
That's amazing.
It won't.
That's crazy.
Wait. Yeah, like I said, man. Change your fantasy settings. It won't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints.
Must win for Saints. Saints are playing at home. Saints win.
Okay, I want to continue to be boring like you and say the Saints. Rams versus Eagles. Who do you have?
You said that so like just get it over.
Dude, that's the kiss of death though, because I used that exact same voice for the
Rams
Steelers
have a
game.
good front seven. The Rams have a good front seven.
Yeah, the pass rushers hasn't been that great as it was last year with Chris Long absent, but
it's still good.
It's
Robert
still good.
Quinn, stud. But I have to go with the Eagles.
This-
Jeremy Maclin will have. Oh no, never mind. I was about to say 5th straight. He'll have his 4th touchdown of the year.
This is exhausting us having the same picks. Okay, I also have the Eagles winning that. Chiefs versus Niners. I doubt we'll agree on this one.
Okay. What's yours?
Okay, I think that the Chiefs will win this one, man.
I picked Chiefs.
Dang it! Come on, man.
Well, what are your reasons? The reasons are as important as the pick.
I just think, like,
They're going into Levi Stadium.
Eagles
Don't forget
defense isn't good, all right? They're not the kind of defense that you look to show that a team's offense is worthy and it's something to be scared of, right? So, the Chiefs are, though. The Chiefs pass rush, right? Fantastic. I think that even though the O-line of the 49ers has been getting pushed around a lot and they haven't been able to run the ball that well outside of Week 4, I think that the running game of the Niners is going to be neutralized by that Chiefs front seven. And I think that the way that Andy Reid is running this offense with so many different formations, so many different personnel groupings, all that jazz, I think it's going to spread the 49ers defense. And even though the 49ers do live off of turnovers, I don't think they'll get them the way that they need to win that one. So I have the Chiefs in that.
Everything I agreed with. That's literally everything I wrote down. You just named it word by word.
Yes. Okay.
That's skill, man.
Bengals Patriots. Ooh.
Sunday night, man.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna say this. I am a humongous Bengals fan. I have been all my life. And we're coming off a bye week. We get Marvin Jones back. He will surpass Mohamed Sanu for number 2 wide receiver, obviously behind AJ Green. Bengals will win on Sunday night, going into Patriots.
They will.
It's just the Patriots are just not looking great, and you have to put Tom Brady and no wide receivers, and other than Julian Edelman, who I love, by the way.
Okay, fair
You have to
enough.
put no running backs against the number, I think, 3 overall defense in the league.
It's gonna be
Do
a
you
tough
see
one.
where is that gonna work anywhere?
See, here's the thing, man. Whenever we do the picks, I always gotta think to myself, is it possible? Is it literally possible within the realm of football for the Patriots to win this one?
It's not. I'm sorry, and I'm never biased about. I'm never biased about my team,
Okay.
and I'm saying that there's. It's. Do you see it happening?
I don't know what the phrase on paper means, but on paper, it's not possible. It's not
Yeah,
plausible. I'll put it that way. It's not plausible. So I add
plausible,
the Bengals as
plausible.
well. We gotta have at least one different pick, man. Okay, next game is the Ravens versus the Colts.
Are you going Ravens? Are you going? What's yours?
I have no reason to believe that our offensive success from last week won't carry over, so I have the Ravens.
Okay, I picked Colts, so there we
Oh
go.
yes, excellent,
There we
man.
go.
Awesome,
There we
awesome.
go.
I'm happy to hear
Andrew
it.
Luck has had Andrew Luck has had 2 straight 40-plus point wins or 40-plus point games. And I'm
I'm
not
telling
saying
you,
it's going to
man.
be a 40. I'm not saying it's going to be a 40-plus win. I'm just saying they have the momentum right now. I'm not saying the Ravens don't have momentum, but I think the Colts just they're going off that
Oh, the Colts
the
are playing at
0-2
home.
start.
They're playing at home. They're playing at home. They're playing at home.
I
Uh,
know. I underline that.
my pick
I
doesn't
have
change
that
though.
down.
My pick
Okay.
doesn't change. Only because I think if our
There I
secondary
think
can tighten up, we won't lose that game. I promise.
okay.
All right, Bears
Good pick.
versus Panthers. Ooh, the bad front seven
Bears.
against the bad secondary. Interesting. You say Bears?
Yeah. I just don't have the faith in the Panthers anymore. I
Okay.
don't know what it is. It's they're losing every running back they have on the roster every game,
They've gone through 4 out of 6. How do you do
and
that,
you're
man?
putting I don't know. How's that possible?
So
But
you have Bears?
yeah,
Okay, I'm actually going to disagree with you for once, or for
okay.
the second time.
For a second time, for a
Yeah,
second time.
I'm gonna say Panthers just because I think the motivation on defense is there because the personnel is virtually identical, like minus like
Yeah,
three or four people. So the thing is, with them so unable to stop the run 2 weeks in a row,
yeah.
and they're traditionally good
And you got
run
Matt
defense,
Forte. You got Matt Forte doing what Matt
but they're going
Forte
to commit
does.
to the run so
So
heavy. They're going to commit to the run so heavy that I think there's no way that this can happen to them and get run over 3 games in a row. So if they do
yeah,
lose, it'll be because of Jay Cutler's arm. It will not be because of Forte. That's my prediction.
yeah. It's yeah.
So Bears, I think will lose that one. I'm sorry, mate.
Okay.
Steelers and Jaguars.
I don't think that
Oh
the
man.
Steelers can lose to 2 mediocre teams in a row. So I'm gonna go with Steelers, but I do think that Blake Bortles will have a tremendous game against a very pitiful Steelers defense.
Okay, okay.
I do believe that he will do good.
I can actually co-sign that. I too agree that the Steelers will win that one. Falcons take on the New York Giants on Sunday as well.
I
That's a
got
home game for
Giants,
the
man.
Giants. I think so too, man.
I got I got Giants. I feel like I don't know. It's just I don't have faith in Matt Ryan when he's not at home. His numbers just don't show.
I wonder
And
how many times you'll make that point. I think you should do it every time we talk about a Falcons game.
every time we talk about Falcons,
Yeah, I
I'll
think you
talk
should talk
about
about it, man.
whether Matt Ryan is home or away.
Yeah.
But I think you have to have a lot of momentum coming off of 40 plus or yeah 30 whatever how many points it was win for the Giants. There has to be some momentum there.
Hmm.
Now they're going home to a very you know good team in the Falcons. I feel like Eli Manning's not going to go off like he did. He'll probably have more interceptions than touchdowns. But
Mm.
I feel like it'll come down to a final drive for the Falcons, and I think they will miss
Ooh, wow.
on their opportunity.
I love how much pressure you're putting on yourself by implementing
Saying that.
like extra stats in addition to who you think will win. Like, yeah, I think it'll come down to a game-winning drive for the Falcons and they'll mess up. I think Eli Manning will throw more interceptions than TDs. Like, why? Just say. But
Hey,
nah, man.
man.
Look, when it doesn't happen,
What's the fun in
it
it
makes it
then?
even
I'm
more
just
fun
making
next week.
picks.
Okay, there are only 4 games left. No, 3. Uh, Broncos versus Cardinals. This is gonna be a good game right here, man.
Game of the week here, man. Game
Ooh.
of the week.
Okay. Okay. So who you got in it?
I could never decide. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
Really?
I think the Cardinals go 4-0. Yo,
I gotta hear the analysis for this.
I is Carson Palmer back yet? I'm
Um,
pretty sure he is.
I think so.
Unless I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Carson's back. The Broncos
Um,
are home, and the Broncos do, have that tremendous offense. But Demaryius Thomas has not been what we're used to.
Hunter. Carson Palmer suffers a setback. Goes to see
Setback.
specialist. Carson Palmer was supposed to start in week 5 and is now being
Ta-da!
evaluated. So
Can I
no,
change my
sir.
pick?
No, sir.
Can I change my pick
Nah,
now?
man.
I didn't know.
Once you say it on podcast, once you say it on air,
Okay,
it's ironed in.
whatever. I'll go with it then. I'll be committed to it.
Okay, man. Do you want to change? Or are you committed?
No, I'll be committed.
Okay.
The Cardinals have a great defense, and Peyton Manning has not done very well against great defenses lately. So, defense wins championships. I'll go with Cardinals.
Oh man, your answers are gonna.
I'm gonna get so much. I'm gonna get so much hate for
Nah, man,
this.
your answer sounds smarter than mine. Cause I'm just gonna say Broncos because I I,
Cause it's Peyton Manning.
I think Peyton Manning's a good football player. That's my
uh,
analysis. That's my in-depth ESPN
I think
analysis.
Peyton Manning is a great football
Yeah,
player.
man, he's fantastic.
Let's not state the obvious.
Yeah, I have Broncos though, because honestly, we haven't talked about this yet, but I think uh, the Broncos are. I have them to win the Super Bowl this year. That's just a little. That's just a
You do.
little tidbit I have. Just throwing that out there.
See,
Jets.
but see, we can change our Super Bowl pick by week 8.
We
You
can.
can make one change, yes. You can make one change to it. So I have, at the beginning of the year, I said Patriots, Seahawks, so I'm definitely going to change that.
Okay.
I'm going to change that. I'm not going to do it now. I'll do that later in a
Yeah.
different
For me,
podcast.
it's been yeah, it's been Broncos and Seattle again this whole year.
You're
Anyway,
gonna you have a rematch.
I do. I do. Jets
That'll be
versus
a great game.
Chargers. Jets versus Chargers. Sorry for yelling.
Ah, it's such a tough decision.
Okay, go the boring route, Hunter, and go the boring route, please.
Chargers.
Chargers,
I mean, can you
yes.
even? How about that Philip Rivers?
Philip Rivers doesn't care how good your defense is. He does not care.
Most underrated quarterback right now,
I will
in
second
my
that.
opinion. Nope. Who do you have? Let's talk about Philip Rivers today. No one says that.
Yeah.
No one talks about him, and he's having a great season so far.
Come to think of it, I don't know
He
why.
beat the Seahawks. He beat the number 1 defense in the league. I mean, that's just enough there, man. That's all I need.
You seem very passionate about this, man.
Man, ever since he beat us in the wild card, I have been on Philip Rivers.
Yeah,
I love Philip Rivers. I'm just gonna say
I
that.
I also think the Chargers will win, sir. Um,
Monday Night Football,
Monday Night
Seahawks
Football.
versus Redskins.
I don't want to say emphatically that it's going to be a massacre because then I'll look stupid if the Redskins win. But I think that the Redskins will struggle on literally every facet. All 3 units of football, they will struggle on all 3. So Seattle, I'm going to impose a score on this one. Seattle will win.
Oh, so
Uh,
you can do it now.
yes.
You're gonna do
Yeah,
it
I
now.
can because I never do. All right.
You'll pick the easiest game to do it in.
Yes.
So.
I press record. I make the rules, buddy. All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
True.
I think that Seattle. I'm just kidding. I think 28-3, sir. 28-3.
28-3.
Yeah.
How many interceptions does Kirk Cousins? How many tweets of Cousins interceptions
I
will
think
you
he
have?
only throws 2, man. Honestly, I
He
think he
only
only
throws
throws 2.
2.
He
but
fumbles
no
twice,
touchdowns.
throws two,
Fumbles twice. That's not his fault. His offensive line suck.
and
That's not his fault.
both of the picks are pick sixes by Malcolm Smith.
Richard by Richard Sherman. Oh, both of them by Malcolm Smith.
Yes, see what is it there? I just imposed who will be that they'll be pick six, how many picks he'll throw.
Your first time going like that, and you're gonna go that far. Two two pick sixes by a linebacker. When's the last time that happened? Two
All right,
pick sixes by a linebacker.
I'm gonna dial it back just to say
No.
no.
You can't do that.
28-3, sir. 28-3. All right.
Yes.
That's all I have to say about it.
Okay.
Okay, so as far as NFL news and what have you, we have yet to talk about any sort of off the field issues within the league. I don't know if that's been a personal decision or just we haven't been paying attention. What do you think?
I honestly, you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
So, what's our point in wasting more people's time about talking about something that they've heard from a million other people? But hey, man, if you want to talk about it, I'm game. It doesn't matter to me.
See,
I have opinions.
I'm sure you do.
Of course I do.
Do you want to just put your thoughts out there on the whole Shane Morris thing, or is that not even on your radar either?
Bruh, I write about Michigan for a lifestyle. I've watched about this carefully all week, and I'm gonna say this: Brady Hoke needs to be fired tomorrow.
Ooh.
Because look, I even put it on the website. Okay,
Really?
I put it on there. Yes, I put it. You could read it.
Oh my gosh, man!
I'll tweet you the link.
Dude, I didn't know you were such a rebel like that. On Michigan's website or like the place where you write for?
I'll tweet you the link.
Okay.
But it's just, especially the fact that it's a college player and not an NFL. Like if this happened to an NFL player, I feel like there wouldn't be like a coach wouldn't have to be fired in that instance. Just because he's a pro athlete, he can make his own decisions, that kind of thing.
Right. This is a kid we're talking about.
It's a college kid. He's not Shane Morris is like 20 years old.
Yeah.
You're talking about a head injury of anything. I think it was a head and an ankle. You obviously see that he's limping and that he looks off, and you send him in anyway.
Wasn't it that he was taken like he sat out a play or whatever, but then the QB that's behind him, like his helmet came off.
His helmet was messed up.
Yeah, so they put him back in the game.
So he sent him in anyway. It's just
yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
This is a kid's life that you have to deal with. Especially the fact that it was a concussion. That's just what got me mad. It's because concussions. I mean, if you look at all the off the field issues that people have with concussions, especially the fact that he's 20 years old, it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable.
Gotcha.
And I know you don't follow college football as much as I do.
Right.
So your opinion, you don't really have as many opinions as I would.
All my opinions are strictly based off of whatever SVP and Rochelle tell me. Because I don't know anything about college, so everything they say is fact, right?
You just say that's life right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I can't wait to get into some fresh off the field issue stuff.
Okay. Let's once some new stuff comes out.
Because we're not gonna talk about Adrian Peterson. We're not gonna talk about Ray Rice.
Or Ray Rice.
We're not gonna talk about Greg Hardy. Or Jonathan Dwyer. It's because like
when new stuff comes up, that's when we'll go in.
There's no combination of like ideas and opinions on the matter that we can come up with that hasn't already been said.
That's never been said. Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's just a little redundant at this point. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. But for those of you who have stayed tuned, we do appreciate you guys viewing this podcast. It's week 2 already. I can tell that the viewing figures are high. The production has increased. Look at the setup we got here.
Right? This is it, man.
Look at this.
This is you can see my room.
You can see his room, people. You can see his room.
Wonderful. This is wonderful.
And check out this wall in front of me.
Right?
Check out this wall. But yeah.
We need to get green screens.
Nah, man. Like I told you.
I'm gonna have the trait just sitting in the background on my green screen.
You're gonna have a what?
Totally. I'm gonna have Detroit, the city,
Oh.
sitting on my background.
Shout
We're
out to the
gonna,
Red Wings, man.
or I might pull a Adam Schefter, a home office kind of ordeal going.
Ooh.
That would be crazy.
I feel like you won't do any of that. However, I have faith in you anyway, man. But like I said,
Okay.
thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Harry Knuckles podcast with me, Chad, and Hunter. And for those of you who wish to follow us on all social networks, check out the links in the description, man. Check out the links.
Yep. And
So,
as a reminder, we each pick games to live tweet on the podcast Twitter every single game day.
right.
So we will tweet before the games which ones we'll be covering, but we'll also be on our personals.
Most definitely, most definitely. Thank you for joining me, sir, by the way. I couldn't do the
Yep.
show by myself.
I have a lot of fun, man.
All right. Peace, guys.